I need new music.
Discover new music now. JJO.
Madison Solid Rock 94.1 JJO. Welcome to Discover New Music. Excited to really reveal this to everyone. There's new Bush coming out. That's right. That is what we are talking about today on Discover New Music. My guest today really needs no introduction. Platinum selling artist, actor, songwriter, author, looking better at in his 50s than I do in my 30s. I don't know how he does it. Mr. Gavin Rossdale, how are you, my friend?
Good to see you, and thank you, Mom.
I'll take it. Well, we are really excited. It was announced recently, along with the current single, More Than Machines, the 9th studio album from Bush, The Art of Survival, is going to drop October 7th. 30 years of Bush, coming up on 30 years of the debut album. How does Bush challenge themselves now at this point? 9th album in. What do you guys do maybe on this one to push the limits of Bush?
I think for me personally, it starts with just coming at music slightly differently, slightly, changing the guitars a little bit. The last few records, basically on each record I've ever done for a while, I've had different D-tunes, different tunings of songs, right? Stop me if I get boring. And basically that creates a different feel of music. Obviously, that's why heavy metal is a certain tuning. That's why Slipknot sounds like Slipknot, and whoever else, more standard tuning band. Whatever, I don't want to say anymore, but anyway, whatever, lots of bands playing standard tuning. It's a bit not as heavy. Yeah. So I got into that, and over the years, whenever we're pretty good at any festival, we can play with like kind of lighter bands, or we can play with metal bands, because the performance and the sort of aggression of the performance is enough. But at the same time, I was always finding myself when we're doing the sets, be like, okay, take that one from that record, that one, because they're all heavy, they're all detuned, they're super riffs. So the kids, if they don't know the song, they're like, okay, cool, And in the last few years, from the Kingdom on, last record, this record, just pure detune the whole way. And that it's funny because people don't necessarily know that, and people go, "Oh man, it's so cool, Bush are back. It sounds just like they always did." And I'm like, actually, technically, that's not true, but that's cool because it's just music. It's just music. When it's all said and done, you don't necessarily know. When the riffs go super heavy, you know that there's how did they get a riff in there? They did not get it in with a Bob Dylan tuned guitar, So that's it. So it starts like that for me. And the other one is just like the thrill of it. Like I just dig my job so much. Like I'm so lucky. Like I write songs. And so I hear music that inspires me. I read a book that inspires me. The world around me hits me in the head with things that swim around my head at night, like how's this, how's that, and then somehow it just like pops out into songs. And I'm just, the thing that I'm singularly most proud of myself, I was really unsuccessful songwriter for a long time. I did a number of years, years of writing that did nothing. 10 years of not making it, 10 years of not doing it, being in the right situation. But I never stopped. I'm so dumb. I just never stopped trying to just be a songwriter. That's all I did. Even when I was painting houses. Oh, this room looks really good. Thanks. Not bad for a songwriter, right? You don't bad for a songwriter. And it was like any girlfriend I ever had, I'd be like, "Hey, nice to meet you. I'm a singer." And I know that sounds like I'm a loser. I'm a waster. And I just sit on the sofa and I don't do anything. I said, but I really try. Admittedly, I've been failing all this time, but I still really try every day, so it's beautiful when you say that, because I just think of my own kind of Calvinist weird self that is just dedicated to this one pursuit, outside of any tuning, outside of anything, whatever we're talking about. It's just, how do you write a song where you think something and it's almost like you have the audacity, like the front, in England we call it, you got so much front, how much you have the front to like, let me sing, I want to complain to you for a minute about something, because you really got to hear about my life. My life is so important. Can everybody hear me? Oh, they hear me in the back. It's such a funny, it's a really funny job when you analyze it. But somehow in this modern world where people need each other less and less, we weirdly need each other more and more. you know, and it's when you can write those songs, and I hear them all the time, people doing them, that connect me to them. When you, music is this incredible like glue, and it just brings people together with what they're thinking, and it helps people, it elevates people when you get it right. When I hear a song that moves me, that makes me think twice about what I've done or whatever, or what I think about someone, it just is, oh, you know, it's like an elixir. It's like a sort of a potion, a magic potion, a sonic potion. And you know, we all know that feeling when you're down in the dumps and you play your favorite band. You just feel triumphant, and you just feel like, you know, up yours, I'm gonna make it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this somehow. You understand me, you know, and I'm singing away in their ears, complaining about. And so I think it's just I'm so happy. I could have chosen any other, you know, I could have, you know, tried to be a really good cameraman, you know, and worked on movies. You know what I mean? That's a really noble job, you know, beautiful job, really long hours, terrible hours. I don't know why they would do that. Whenever I've been on movies, I'm like, why would you do that job?
Yeah.
I want to be on a film set, plugging in electrics, you know, from 5 a.m. until everyone goes home.
With a bunch of those snooty movie stars around too, you got to deal with, you know about it.
Right. Yeah. They're generally just insecure. You got to remember that. Just insecure.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is, whenever I did a movie, all the grips and the crew guys be like, "That's cool, man. Hey, where's the next damn Bush record? What are you doing?" You know, I get stuff. I feel so guilty whenever I make a film.
Yeah.
I would run into the studio after that.
Yeah.
To reclaim myself, like I needed to be cleansed in my primary vocation, you know.
Yeah, the Key Grip John wanted that new Bush album, so you had to get it out.
And he got it. And I got it.
He got it.
He's a good guy, that John. I love him.
I tell you what, Key Grip John.
I did it for John.
Good. Well, we're super excited, man, and it's great to hear the passion behind this with this new album. And it's been a little bit, obviously not terribly long. You haven't made us wait that long. Do you maybe have some pullings from the last couple years that are feeding into this album? You mentioned how things happen in life and in this world that can kind of motivate you or inspire you. Do we see any of that on the Art of Survival?
Yeah, I mean, you know, everything that matters to me, I try and put in those words. And I have been challenging myself to just get better. You know, over the years, you get beaten up, you get bad criticism, and you get constructive criticism, and you either rise to the challenge, and so I just try to write better and better words, because that's all we got. And the more we can communicate, the more and every line is a space, and for me, an opportunity to say something interesting. Like if I have a line that people I don't care about, like I didn't get it right. There's so many details, as in anyone's job, you know, your job, my job. It's just details, and it's built on details. And I like those details because it comes out when you get it right. When you get all the details right, it comes out has an effortless feel to it, a natural flow, you know. So I just love doing it, you know, and I'm always worried I can do another one. I'm not sure I ever can do another song. I don't know, the last one was pretty good. Shoot, I don't know if I can do that again. That was nice. Oh, you know, and you might write one or two, you know, because obviously I write maybe 20, 25 songs that could have been, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then choose. So there's a couple along the way, and it's just like, it's going so good. Like, man, I love this track. Oh, that bit. Oh, damn, I know about that bit. And it's those moments. And so what you try and do is the way that I choose the songs is I see them, in my humble opinion, that I present to the producer and to the band and everything like that, without flaws, you know, without a weak bit. You know what I mean? They're not going to put, if I do something with like 3 weak sections, there's going to be like, oh, maybe not this one, right? You know, maybe not this one. Cool, thanks. So I have this weird thing where I do it, where sometimes I just go, you know what? I'm going to just write a terrible song. Let me write a terrible song. Let me get a terrible song off my chest. I'm going to be terrible. And sometimes that's turned into a single. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the most obvious thing I can do? You know? Yeah. So it's a weird way. Just try and any way you can be different and interesting on every song. So either I would collaborate, write with someone. Either do it myself, either do my song myself, and then come in there and Chris has got an idea of he wants to read a couple of songs on this record, Chris came in and I had the songs, and he just put some chords on some integral moments on the choruses that really helped it. I was like, oh, fair play. Good collab. You know, he's a great guitar player. Thank you. It's great. You know, and I think however you get there, and when you've done it like 9 records with Bush, the more different sources of inspiration to make it come together. And you know, Chris is a phenomenal guitar player. So
is that so? It's interesting there, because I'm sure there's people listening that go, how does Gavin Rossdale question himself? How does he have doubts at all? He's done it. He's made it work. It's worked now for 30 years. Is there ever a part of you that's like, wow, well, it's got to sound like something, you know, back from 16 Stone. It's got to sound like that.
You know, the honest thing is, it's a pure 100% intuition.
Yeah.
Of when I'm done on that song, making it the best it can be. Now that might mean it's not a good enough song overall. But so when I got them, you know, for example, with More Than Machines, you know, Eric and Chris had done some music, and I came across it, and I put it in my studio, and I sang it, and that's it. And I knew that when I sent it to him, that it was pretty hot. They'd be really happy, because they didn't know what was happening with that music. That music was just a bit of music they had.
Yeah.
And so what the instinct I had was to know when I was done and send it to him. And he's like, I got these like flame emojis, like, what is this, you know? So it's just that instinct, you know? And then there's other songs I've done it where, you know, you don't get it right, so you don't use those songs. But I don't think there's any wasted songs, and you're always learning something. And you know, music's like mysterious. It's like, I know it's so good, and yet it's like a woman, you know what I mean? We know the girls, but yet we don't know them at all. It's like, wow, okay. So it's a bit like that.
If my knowledge of women translated into writing songs, I would have entered my career long ago. It would never have taken off. Not even in karaoke scene. I just had failed miserably.
Yeah, I'm adopting the no comment interview.
Do you got maybe a favorite track off the new album? One that really speaks to you? I know we got the new single out now, but maybe there's a Gavin song on there.
I mean, well, I was really proud with More Than Machines, because I think it's really important at these times to stand up for women's rights, stand up for everyone's rights, and stand up for all the people that experience, you know, oppression of any kind, really, honestly. So I feel really proud of that, to get that in. I'm not crying, my eyes itching. And but on the record, that's a fun question. Obviously every song, there's only 12 songs on there. That's out of what I began with, it was 25. So you can imagine they're pretty close to me. But if I was the song, I want to give, I don't want to repeat myself to anyone. So I'll give you something that I'm not going to, if someone else with the same question in 5 minutes, I'm going to give a different answer. There's a song called 1,000 Years on the record that ends it. I always got to do my weird, moody, down songs, you know, because every song can't be like, you know, rah riff, you know. So there's a couple of songs like that, and the record ends with 1,000 Years. And let me just turn this off. It's my business manager. Could be good news, could be bad news. And so 1,000 Years, and the reason why I like it is because it's one of those mournful songs that just fell out of me. So it just creates this like 4 minutes of like mood, and it's a trip, and people can be like, you know, those headphones are perfect for it. Kick back after a long day, and you know, get lost in that. It's cool. So it's not the heaviest song. The record's really heavy. It's like 10 out of 12 are like pretty heavy, but you know, it's not no dog bark singing, but like no screamo stuff, which by the way is amazing. Some of that screamo stuff, I can't believe people can sing like that. But yeah, me, I like the melodies. So, but that 1,000 Years.
I love it. I love it. Well, I can't wait to get our hands on the new record. Again, The Art of Survival, October 7th. Bush bringing it to you. The current single, More Than Machines, out now. And it's just exciting news to have a band that a lot of us grew up with now 30 years later, still doing it, still getting it done. And I don't like to bring up time over and over again, but I think people are just blown away. You're in your 50s. You're still in one of the biggest rock bands in the world. You're still making amazing new music. You're starting to get in the Stones category. I know it's still a ways away yet. You're not quite that old. Is 56 rock star lifestyle a little bit different than maybe 30s, 20s rock star lifestyle there?
It's like I just feel grateful and focused, you know, and I know what I got to do. And I know that when I go in the studio, I can't mess up. I have no currency. I can't put out a soft record and then come back, or not a good record and come back and next time, you know, it's like I'm on a precipice of that I accept, you know, I accept that precipice because there's so many great bands out there. So if you don't deliver, that's on me. So I just feel really focused about it. And when I do think of that sort of time, you know, obviously when I was young, I just thought this age, I just didn't even know anyone could be this old. You know what I mean? Didn't know about it. Like, how's that work? You know. But then the funny part is that when you get there, you're just like, you still have the same sense of, you're the same inside. You're the same inside. You just are, you know. And that's why Mick's doing it. He's, you know, he's just unbelievable, isn't he? That guy. He's like, I don't know. He's, you know, he's really, but I guess he, you know, mature, but like he just can't stop loving it, and people don't want to stop watching him. I mean, like he just plays stadiums. People are just like, and they haven't written a new, you know, they don't play the new record. They don't have new records. They don't have to do that. Certain bands don't have to do that. They're like, they don't have to do that. I know they've done one a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I think. I don't know, but they just got to come out and play Brown Sugar. You know what I mean? That is like, okay, go on, mate, give it to us. And he's got like, his girlfriend is yeah, it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant.
Everyone's good with it. Everyone's good with it. I love it. All right. I'm sure we have probably gone on too long. Do I have time for rapid fire real quick with Gavin of Bush? All right. So these are the important questions. We already talked about the record, The Art of Survival, October 7th, the new single, More Than Machines. It's all out there. Everyone's knowing it. Everyone's loving it. Mark it down. Now it's the real nitty gritty stuff. Here we go. No wrong answers. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Would you rather see the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot?
Loch Ness Monster.
Disco or techno?
Techno.
Ooh, okay. I figure you for a disco guy. Maybe not.
No, disco. I changed my mind. You're right.
Good riff.
Right. You were right. I said it. I was like, that's not what you mean.
I threw you off with the Loch Ness question. Who would you rather have a beer with? Paul Davies or Johnny Moreau? There's some blast from the past from your acting days.
Okay. Who tell me these guys?
So Paul Davies, remember you played Paul Davies. He was a rock star who had a vampire alter ego. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah. Okay. Sure. Criminal Minds. Yeah.
Oh, you Criminal Minds. Or would you rather have a beer with Johnny Moreau from Hawaii Five-0?
Oh, vampire
rock star.
Am I allowed to tell you one quick story in your rapid fire?
Absolutely, go for it.
When I did the Criminal Minds, and I just wore that, you know, crazy goth makeup, they made these life-size cardboard cutouts of me. Like, it's not my favorite look of me. It was like I was acting, and they go, "We'd like to have it," and I was like, "Of course," and I took it just to make sure that no one else could have it.
Do you still have it?
Maybe somewhere. I don't know, the dartboard somewhere. But go back to rapid fire. Yeah, go on.
I love it. Well, if you ever find that, you got to bring it on tour. Last one. Would you rather take one punch from Mike Tyson or 100 punches from the Where's the Beef Lady?
100 punches.
From the Where's the Beef Lady?
I think so. Mike Tyson. Do you see what he did to Steve-O? Remember when Steve-O ran onto his fist? I laughed and broke his nose.
That's right. That's true. That's probably a smart answer. That's a smart answer. I mean, you're a fit guy in your 50s, but still, it's Mike Tyson. You got to watch out. You got to watch out.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for humoring me for a little bit, Gavin. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Everyone, The Art of Survival, October 7th. It is out. Bush, their new album, new single, More Than Machines. We're excited about it. Thanks again, Gavin. I really appreciate the
Thanks,
time.
brother. All the best. Take care.
We'll see you.
Discover new music now on the homepage of WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts.